I just want to do this video about more on the personal side about ascension and relationships, because it's been coming up a lot lately. Because of the 3D timelines that are now shifting out, the mass awakenings that are going to be occurring. One thing that that everybody's at a different stage of integrating who they are. What I would suggest that people really step back and pull themselves back and really think about, reflect upon, observe, is maturity and integrity about who you are as a spirit. Is more important than anything. It's far more greater of an importance to you as a soul to truly reflect on who you are as a spirit, to who you are as a soul, and not necessarily, I know the superficial 3D world, how women have been projected, how women have been objectified, how women have been sold stories that our purpose in life is to have a man, to get a man, whether it be a partner, same sex or otherwise. And it's really not. We're not here to serve anybody except ourselves. There's so much that is concerning about the drive of the energies in the collective right now, about women finding their soulmates, and soulmates it's just a really it's kind of an icky energy. Just this intense soulmate, trying to seek a soulmate kind of energy, and it's really not the purpose at all. The purpose of you finding yourself is you and spirit, getting closer to spirit. In every new cycle, in every new moment, in every new experience, your teams and your soul contracts have a handful of truly divine soulmates that are chosen at the highest level of your ability to see the potentialities of your earth timeline. Many earth timelines that you have opportunities to step on, because it's always free will. Source creator, God, knows who you are before you even make a choice, in all timelines, in all realms, in all planets, and knows exactly the highest benevolence of what your soulmates are going to provide you. For instance, I've had a 54-year experience where I've had zero reciprocation, zero giving. So this next soulmate that will be in my timeline will be one that gives. It was one that's going to be meeting me and matching me already. It will already be a matching experience that I don't have to wait. I don't have to babysit. I don't have to coach. I don't have to play mommy. All of those issues are already sorted out. Spirit knows that, because Spirit knows the work that I've done. If you're not doing the work, you're going to manifest that person that has also not done the work. It's always a vibrational match. That's why anyone hanging on to somebody, anyone clutching onto somebody, just because you like their energy, but you're not a match with it because you haven't done the work. Spirit will absolutely always do the highest and greatest good. Spirit would never put a lower vibrating person that hasn't done the work with somebody that has done the work, just because that lower vibrating person is addicted to the energy of the higher vibrating person, even though that higher vibrating person has said no a jillion times. And it's just because they've done the work. Their systems are oscillating faster. They've done their karmic lessons. They've released, they've let go. They've done that inner work for that new soulmate. You have an infinite potential of those, because you're always changing, because you're releasing, because you're transmuting, because you're changing. That means that there's new soul entities, there's new soul energies that are ready to meet you. And you can call in that fifth dimensional version and not settle for anyone that is playing games just because they want to keep hanging on to you, because they want your energy, or they want to play the dominance game. So it's really, really, really important for people to get out of their heads and get out of the control, to get out of the dominance, to get out of the sick patterns of always seeking a soulmate. Those that go from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship and have never been by themselves on any level, on a spiritual level, on a mental, physical, emotional, educational, intellectual, you don't know yourselves well enough to have a true soulmate. You will continually manifest karmic soulmates. That is just energy. There is so much misunderstanding in the collective today. I want to help inspire, empower, and encourage everybody. Don't seek your soulmate until you've done the work. Spirit, your teams, your guides, they have roles to place people in front of you. The more that you do the work, the higher quality soulmate that will have and be there before you. If your key gifts and skills and excitements is to be a shaman, the Spirit will place somebody before you that will also equal those mirrored gifts, so that you can help each other and soften each other and play off each other's gifts and skills and wisdoms. Never take an energy just because you can manifest great stuff together because you both see each other as dollar signs. That's okay for an experience, but at a deep soul level, that's not truly what your soul is there for. Your soul is there to learn the lessons of the soul. Patience, virtues, who are you as a soul? How are you manifesting physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually? How are you expressing it? How are you exploring it? And if you don't know any of these things about yourself, you won't manifest a true soulmate. So it's really important that people get this. Get this, truly get this. You might have a great vibration. For me personally, I would never be involved with somebody that has not yet closed stuff out with 4 or 5 other partners that they've been partnering with. It's messy. It's an energetic mess. I would never do that. I would never get involved with anybody that has ongoing experiences because it's just messy. I don't want it. My energy and my time is too important, is too valuable. I wouldn't place myself in those experiences. So I'm just giving you these very vibrational differences and variances. Maturity, spiritual maturity is going to be so key for everybody that's moving into higher octaves of dimensional play. I wouldn't waste my time on the pettiness and the immaturity that has been plaguing my life the past 8 years, because karmic groups want to keep playing in my energy and keep taking from me and stealing from me and thieving from me. I would never participate. I would never co-create with those energies. None of them have chosen to do the work. They're not allowed to enter my field. They're no longer allowed to take from me. They're no longer allowed to participate with me on any level. They're only being allowed from what God has showed me and what God has said to come back and apologize and to return monies owed. That is it. There is no co-creational experience. Not with anybody that knows those people, not with anybody that's been involved with those people, because there's a vibrational mismatch and the work hasn't been done. So it's really important when you're understanding who you are and you just serve it up to spirit. Okay, spirit, now I'm ready for a soulmate. I've expressed myself. I've done my own sharing. I've gone in hermit mode for so many years. You know, I've been on my own, literally by myself for 13 years. I haven't been intimately touched in 13 years. There's been a whole lot of people messing with my energy field, doing cock blocking and silly, ridiculous binding spells, and you can tell the immaturity of those experiences. I still have full awareness and full free will, and nobody will ever change that. My spirit and God are going to plan and bring me whatever it is that I need to, because I deserve to receive, and nobody has any arrogant right to say that I'm not entitled to that. That just shows you the level of consciousness and the immaturity level. And that's why, again, when you are spiritually mature, when you are spiritually doing your own work, all of those issues they're just too time consuming. They take up time, mess, energy. It's just a mess. And why you have to send people away. Do the work. Empower, encourage, and inspire, but tell them to do the work. So much has been caused and created through people that I'm no longer interested in. I would never be interested in, because the vibrations are just not matched. There was so much damage. There was so much harm. Intentionally. There was so much intentional harm that was so unnecessary, because my mind, my spirit, and my energies were not even there. They were forcing me to be in that game because of the illusionary stories that served them, because they were stealing off of me. And they think that I don't know. They think that I don't know. You know, the sleeping around and all of those experiences. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. It's ridiculous. The time wasted, the energy wasted, the money that was wasted on spell work to bind and stalk and cock block. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You could write a book on how petty and how immature and how harmful and how damaging and how much wasting of people's time and energy, and the damage to one household. It's beyond ridiculous. That's why it's really good to understand, who are you? Let go of those messes. Let go of those energies. Anybody that's coming forward from here on out, if they're not transparent, if they're not truthful, don't even spend the time speaking, because they're not in that same vibrational energy of what's truly important and value, your morals, your integrity. Where are you at as a spiritual master? What are you working on as a spiritual master? Really hold yourself high. Because anybody that's approaching you that is not being checked at the door, that doesn't come in truth, that doesn't come in transparency, don't waste your time. Because they're still on the karmic wheel, and they're still going to pull you into those same games, same manipulations, same deceits, same. And now spirit is at the point where there is no option. There is no further play, because it's been so disrespected. It's been so played out, harming everybody. The karma has been building up. There's been no rights made towards anything, no apologies, My work is my work. My work belongs to me. There's been no approvals, no permissions, no agreements. There's a lot of people that are sitting in a lot of imbalance and a lot of damage, a lot of destruction, because the magic is now returning and it's causing a lot of disorders, detachments, disillusionment, psychosis. That's how black magic works. And why, again, if you do spell work, make sure that you're having each other's permission, because it will create hell, chaos, destruction, and damage. Because black magic is negative and it will implode. That's what it does. It creates diseased cells, it creates diseased bodies, it creates mental imbalance, and that is what the secret societies don't want you to know, because it's run through manipulation, it's run through control, it's run through fear, and it's run through all these corrupt programs that feed off of your energy. But when you reclaim yourself, when you reclaim who you are, you're standing as a strong divine being, and when you know that you have teams and guides that are absolutely, their job is to find you the highest vibrational person and being and intelligence that has, again, when you're looking for, when your teams are setting out to find you the highest match, they could be on the other side of the world, but they have celestial, cosmic, alien, they have similar experiences as a soul, they're at the proper place, they've done the clearing out of their karmic timelines, they've closed off the karmic timelines, you're in the appropriate vibrational space to match each other. 90% of the people that are out there talking about soulmates and are addicted and obsessed, and the intensity towards finding a soulmate is because they don't know who they are. They have false sense of self. They have no sense of self, and they're not owning who they are and creating their own self-design. And they're giving so much power away. They're giving so much energy away. They're giving so much focus away to find someone to take care of them. And they will inevitably be in karmic cycles where they will be taken from, stolen from, or they will be doing that to each other. Because those are the intentions of those experiences, and that is what you can then surmise to spiritual maturity. Are you doing the work? Otherwise, you're just going to keep cycling in karmic experiences. It's not rocket science. Vibration is everything. Someone that has done the work will not ever allow their energies to be dropped by someone that is continuing in karmic mess games. They just wouldn't. It's dangerous, it's reckless, it's harmful, and nobody would do that. Nobody would sacrifice themselves. Nobody. Sacrifice is always a dark, dense, negative experience. Sacrifice leaves nothing but damage and destruction. Always. Sacrifice causes karma. Sacrifice is karma. So anybody doing sacrifices on any level in any way will create karma. And nobody would want to mess with that. Nope, I wouldn't want to get myself involved with anybody that does sacrificing. There's no way. I deserve the timelines that I'm creating. And it's important that we talk about relationships in new ways that are a bit more mature, that are spiritually advanced, that are spiritually leveled out, that are spiritually about spirit, that are spiritually about the exploration, the experiencing, the expression of spirit. It's not a superficial game of who's going to look after you. And if so, then there's a lot of work that needs to be done inside to heal who you are. Sort out who you are. Who am I? What exists within me? And what do I exist within? Because there's no need to go rushing with intensity and obsessiveness and addictiveness to find out who your twin flame and soulmate is. That's not going to resolve anything. You have to do the inner work before spirit will place a true soulmate before you. Otherwise, everybody before you is karmic because you haven't done the work. Your vibration has so many holes and densities in it because you haven't done the work. If you're seeking someone to look after you, you haven't done the work. If you're seeking someone because you want an easy life and you want them to take care of you, want them to be responsible for your karma, you want them, you think you have entitlement over their money, you have entitlement over their this, there's a whole lot of work there. Whole lot of work. These are the basic facts of ascension and vibrational law, people. So think twice when you're talking about twin flames and soulmates, why you're really seeking that. You shouldn't be seeking anything. Spirit will place it before you when you're ready. That's why if you're not having a relationship experience, because you're not ready, you got to work some stuff out. When you're truly balanced, when you're truly self-owning, when you're truly self-loving, when you're truly self-designing, that's when you meet that soulmate where you can build together. You're building stable foundations. You're building stable experiences. You're having your own legacies. You're having your own co-creative experiences. I would never surrender my energy to somebody that doesn't know how to co-create, that doesn't know how to heal themselves, that doesn't know how to build a foundation. I just wouldn't. I have standards now. That's why nobody from the past will ever return. They just won't. I have standards now. I'm not going to be fooled. I'm not going to be stolen from. And I will have the highest levels of protection on every level. So anybody from the past and these little karmic timelines that think they're going to come in and steal from me and do this and that and put these little baiting and they're going to send somebody to go and bait me. It's garbage. It's the most immature, time-wasting garbage. And it's a waste of spirit's time to babysit these people that do nothing but thieve. And these karmic ploys and plots and plans and schemes on how to get people. It's ridiculous. And it needs to stop. Spirit will make it stop. Spirit will bring down towers for everybody until these karmic games stop. Because those of us that are awake have said stop. Enough is enough. Another thing about relationships. When you are ready and when you have done the work and you have shown spirit, okay, well, I have no fears of being alone. I enjoy creating by myself. I'm totally interdependent. How can I offer myself in for a shared equal experience? And why are you looking for that person? Is it equal on every level? Physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically. Because if they're not there energetically, your energy is going to be feeding their not energetic balance. And do you want to do that? Do you want to sacrifice that life? Do you want to sacrifice that energy? Do you want to sacrifice that energy it's going to take to keep feeding them because they're not quite there? You have to work that out with each other. Same too goes if they have multiple relationships, safe sex, non-sex, safe sex, polyamorous, whatever the group thing is. It doesn't matter how many parties they say, and even if they lie about it, deceive it again, that's karma. Anybody that's not approaching you in truth and transparency, they are in karma. And therefore you take it on when you say yes. So shut the gates, close the gates, say it's over, no, 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 no. And don't let it back. Cleanse, clear, cleanse, clear, cleanse, clear. Don't let those energies back. Have them play out their karma because they haven't sorted out why they want to continue lying and deceiving. If you can't own who you are, you're not going to have a soul-mate relationship. These are the basics of energy. And people have to start talking about it in a way that is 5-dimensional. A true soulmate is someone that you match vibrationally, spiritual goals, spiritual endeavors, spiritual foundations, because it is a spiritual journey from here on out. It's not about who makes more money and who looks good in a suit. That means nothing to spirit. Nothing. So do the work. Do the work. Those that come to you that have not closed out cycles, those that have come to you that have not closed out the past, that have not karmically, with good heart, with goodwill, with good intention, have not cleared out in goodwill, they will take on that karma of not making balance in goodwill. Now, it doesn't mean to say that if somebody is not in balance and they're not allowing that person to close out in goodwill, you can have that discussion with spirit and say, I've done everything possible to close this out in goodwill. It's now up to you, spirit. I surrender this to you. And then let spirit. And if you want to book an appointment with me, then we can have those discussions about how you can close it out so that you know that your karma is not going to be touched because of an imbalanced past person. You have to make sure that karmically you're closing it out on all levels, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, because that will affect your karmic record. And that's why anybody that says they know me doesn't know me. I have been by myself and I've been not intimate for 13 years. So anybody that says anything or has any silly little story rumors, they're lying. My business belongs to me. There's been no approvals. There's been no signatures. And the little stories that are going around, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Nobody knows me. I would never be with anybody that is involved in karmically active, karmically messy, karmically tumultuous experiences, because I respect everybody involved and everybody needs to have their balance. Everybody needs to have their closure, because I certainly had no closure. Zero closure. Even though I knew exactly what was going on behind closed doors, I had to bring that closure to myself and heal it all on my own. That's why it doesn't matter. I don't care if anybody comes towards me. I don't care. I already have my truth. I already have my proof. I don't need it from anybody. I want my money. I want all the monies that were stolen from me. I want all the monies that were taken from me. Nobody has any right to do anything with my business, anything with my content, anything with my sessions, anything with my videos. My work is my work, and it's been my work for 16 years. And I haven't given anybody approval or discussion or anything on any level in any way. And there will be legal action taken, because there's already people that absolutely know my work to my work. And everybody knows now. And so Spirit's got everybody's name. It's all everybody's name. But as far as relationships are concerned, close your stuff out and do it in the highest and greatest will. Because somebody that is awake, somebody that is aware, somebody that is 5th dimensional, I'm operating in an entry level 5th dimensional. I wouldn't allow anybody, and I wouldn't, because Spirit will know. If there's lies and deceits there, don't even come entering. Don't. As far as a relationship. I wouldn't spend any time with somebody that is not closed out in goodwill and good honor. Every relationship, every contract, every work experience, because that's karma. I wouldn't take on anybody's karma. I'm not. I would never. I'm not taking on any messes. I'm not taking on any experiences that people have not done their due diligence. Because I have standards now, and I won't drop them, and I won't surrender them, and I won't bow to a lesser God. I know who I am. I walk with God and God only. I'm a private consultant. I'm a creative consultant, and I set my own price. I set my own contracts, and nobody speaks for me. Nobody has authority on me. Nobody has voice on me. Nobody. And anybody saying that they do are liars. They never did, and they never will. So anybody that's using my name or my signatures, anybody that's using my children's name or their signatures, anybody that's using my children's paperwork or my paperwork, they are liars and they are thieves. And they will all be shown, and they will all be known, and they will all be known by the authorities. Because that is Source. Source has given everybody enough time. And I'm not going to stop talking about it. This part that I wanted to offer today was about our relationships. Because there's so much obsessiveness, because people are in fear, the fear that people have about finding a soulmate and finding this. There's no fear. If you're having fear, then you're going to find that person that is going to be in that same fear. And that's, again, a karmic cycle. You have to understand, everything that you manifest is from the intention that you manifest it, whether it's sex. If you're going into sex with a controlling, dominant, binding, scheming, plotting, scamming, scheming, you're going to manifest that with that person. And that's why you have karmic partners. Those karmic partners will remain karmic partners until you reclaim your power and you close those off. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, sexually. And you do it so with the heavens. Otherwise, those karmic cycles just keep going, and you just keep manifesting karmic STDs, karmic people, karmic trouble, karmic problems, karmic bank accounts. It's all karmic. Learn your lessons. Why would you choose to have sex with somebody when those are the intentions? Because that's the energy you carry. That's the energy you exchange with your life force. Everybody has to understand life force. Everybody has to understand energy. And again, I would rather be single and I would rather be on my own than somebody that doesn't close off contracts in goodwill and good honor with good faith. Anybody that is walking around knowing that they can just be with anybody anytime they want and have no care about their life force or their energy. My standards are high, and I wouldn't entertain anybody that would ever come towards me in those experiences. So sort out who you are. Sort out who you are. Sort out where you're going. Sort out who you are as a soul. Get into your own maturity before you ever place yourself before another. Have respect for that person. If you respect that person, because respect is a vibration, and it's just as easily as somebody that stands before you deceiving their ass off. Anybody that's standing before you, if they haven't done the work, they don't respect themselves enough to present themselves to you with respect. Period. If you want to be an empress, if you want to match and have an emperor before you, then that emperor must have done the work. Because there's no lie, there's no spell, there's no veiling spell and veiling voodoo so that you close your third eye, you're not going to see who they truly are. Yeah, I saw it a long time ago and I called it a long time ago. I just don't care anymore. Don't come before me, you're not allowed. You're now kicked out of my energy. You're now kicked out of my experience. You're not allowed back in because you've disrespected far too many times, and I deserve better. I deserved better 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So that's how you set the standard. Stand in your power, stand in your truth, and don't allow anybody before you that hasn't sorted themselves out. That's not a soulmate, that's karmic. And I'm not going to step in any more karmic cycles. I'm done. My karma is over. Over. And so when you're sensing what's going on in the collective, start going within and saying, no, I'm absolutely fine to be by myself. I would rather be by myself than what's going on in the collective right now, which is everybody is mass awakening. So every person that you are with, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, if you're in a marriage, you have to sort it out and have the conversations on a weekly basis. Are we on this ascension path together? Let's have these conversations. What are you working on? How can I help you? How can you help me? They have to have those discussions, comfortable or uncomfortable. If you're not going to place everything on the table in full transparency and full truth, you're not ready to be in a soulmate conversation. You're not ready to be in a soulmate connection. If you think you have to lie, and if you feel you have to lie, then you don't know who you are. If you're lying and if you're deceiving and if you're not transparent and if you're not standing before the one that you say that you love, if you say you love them and you say you care about them, then you would be fully transparent. Otherwise, it's a karmic mess. And you're deceiving yourself. And again, that foundation will fall. And again, that foundation will crumble. And again, it's the same old karmic story. So again, timelines are shifting now. There's no vibrational alignment. It's vibration from here on out. Understand vibration, people. Understand vibrational match. Understand vibration. Why do you do what you do? Where is the wounding? Don't focus on anybody wanting to come towards you if you haven't sorted out who you are. Have those moments where you're okay to be by yourself for a year, 2 years, 3 years. Take a fast for a week. Do a fasting for a week. See how you are without attachments. See how you are without those that you think you need in your life. You don't need anybody. It's just you and Source. And if those have not been answered, if those have not been practiced, if those have not been tried, then you're not ready for a soulmate. It's very, very simple. Work on who you are. Be standing in your own power. Be standing in your own light. Get your health back on the right track. Don't stand before anybody if you're not in 100% health and maturity and spiritual knowing of who you are. If you haven't had that connection with God, if you haven't had that connection with Spirit, why would you want to place yourself before somebody and just shoot your shot to see if it's going to work? No, be certain. If you're not certain, don't step through the door. Because that person on the other end deserves certainty. Do you see what I'm saying? I know that now. Anybody that's not certain before me, I will sense it before they even walk through the door. No, you're not certain. Goodbye. Nice knowing you. Nice to meet you. Goodbye. You're either certain or you're not. It's either a yes or a no. The wishy-washy back and forth, you don't know yourself. Go find out who you are. Do you see what I'm saying? That's not a soulmate. Go find yourself. Seek yourself. Know why you want what you want. Because most of the time it's ego. Because you're not feeling fully safe, more fully secure, more fully knowing. Who are you? Can you live on your own by yourself? Can you move through poverty? Can you move through abundance? Can you move through the riches of who you are mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually? Can you heal yourself? Can you bring yourself back from illness? When you know these things about yourself, then you're ready to help somebody and you're ready to have them help you on a co-creative experience where it's a high vibrational experience, where you understand the understanding of give and take, where your sexual life force is a beautiful, sacred experience, not something you throw around with unprotected malice and then causing everybody involved malice. If you're having unprotected sex and you don't care about unprotected sex, you're not ready for a soulmate experience because you don't care about the health of your body. And then again, go into that. Why don't I care about my body? Why do I not care about unprotected sex? When you're willingly transferring energies and transients before you. And why is that okay? Again, get to those core issues. So it's not about finding a mate, people. It's not about finding a soulmate. It's not about a twin flame. And that's where the whole tarot community needs to shift its perspective. It is always about who you are as spirit. Period. Point blank. The twin flame and the soulmate will already be in front of you when you've done the work. So take your focus off the twin flame and the soulmate. It needs to be brought into a higher vibrational conversation of point blank vibrational ethics and integrity and values and morals. If that prefrontal cortex has not been rearranged and you have not spent time with yourself and you have not gone within and done the hermit thing a few hundred times, you don't know who you are. Therefore, you will attract that vibration of not knowing who you are. That is the vibrational mechanics of universal law. So know yourself, know who you are. So those that choose to come towards anybody, are you going to be offering them equal respect? Are you going to be offering them truth? Are you going to be offering them who you are at the highest level of who you are? And if you can absolutely say yes, then Spirit will say, go, there you go. The gates are open. Ancestors will not let anybody through that has not done the work and that is going to not check themselves at the door. My ancestors will not let them through because I've been through too much abuse. God will not let anybody through. And you'll be checked. Karmic messes, stuff unhealed, stuff unfinished, stuff untapped. No. There's a whole lot of work that needs to be done and it's got to get done. I'm not sacrificing my life. I'm not sacrificing my energy. I'm not sacrificing my health. I'm not sacrificing my time. Not sacrificing it. Everybody has to level up. It's not a game anymore. This is real life. And these things have to be talked about. The entire spiritual community needs to understand the ideas and the concepts and how soulmates and twin flames are organized and are contracted at the highest soul experience. You already have a preordained handful of soulmates before you even get here. And the potentialities, as long as you are aligned with you and you are following your higher self's offerings to you of of making sure that you're expanding, you're expressing, you're exploring who you are, Spirit will and God will absolutely make sure, because Spirit and God want you to explore the beauty of a relationship, to explore the beauty of exploring one another, to explore the beauty of what sacred intimacy is all about, and Kundalini sex, when you're both ready for it, when you're both balanced, when you're both honoring each other. Isn't that what it should be? It's okay that it hasn't been, but we have normalized this whole experience about relationships and twin flames, and it's been normalized to an addiction and an obsession. It's not healthy at all. It's absolutely imbalanced, and it's all karmic. That's how it feels in the collective right now with this whole twin flame and soulmate experience. It feels like a big soup of mess, because a lot of karma needs to be cleared up. And nobody should be thinking about a soulmate or a twin flame until the karma mess is cleared up. If you have karma in your life, clear up the karma. You shouldn't even be thinking about a union until that karma is cleared up. On all sides. The women are responsible for their life. The women are responsible for their careers. The women are responsible for their education. Women are responsible for their health. And so too are the men. Interdependent, rely on none but you. And when you're in those independent, co-related experiences with you in Spirit, then you can say, okay, Spirit, I'm ready to share myself with somebody sacred. Energy of you is sacred. Your body is sacred. Your energy is sacred. Your mind is sacred. Your emotions are sacred. And if you do it anything less, that is what you will attract. So don't think that you're going to attract a twin flame or a soulmate when you're in those energies, because you won't. It will be a karmic experience. Those are the basics of energetic laws, and they need to be understood, because it feels obsessive, it feels addictive, and it doesn't feel nice at all. It feels kind of icky, and everybody has to sort out their ickiness in the collective. As a collective soup, that's how the whole twin flame and soulmate feels right now, because it's not cleaned up. Everybody has to take ownership and responsibility of who they are and clear their karma. Make right where you have to make right. None can get away with not making things right. You either carry it over in your next relationship where it will be done to you. That's how karma works. And Spirit now is saying that there are spiritual laws that have to take place. When these timelines close out, there has to be closure. There has to be. Nobody can get away with not having closure. And closure means, thank you for the soul lesson. I will pay you what I can pay you. I'm going to give this to you. I'm sorry that I did that to you. I'm sorry I did that to you. Is there any way that I can make it right for you? What do you need from me? If you have harmed someone, what do you need from me? How can I make it right for you? That's what you should be asking. If you have harmed someone and you have stolen from one and you've done somebody wrong, it shouldn't be about what you can take from them, what you're entitled to. You haven't done the work, and Spirit will not let you in, because you're not there yet. You're still in selfish mode. You're still in entity mode. You're still in entity demon attachment mode. So own where you're at. Own where you're at. Put it on the table, sort it out, and heal it. These things have to be discussed in this point blank of an issue, because the energy's out there. It's got to get cleaned up. Transmute those energies. Are you not worthy of better? Are you not worthy of more? Don't place yourself before somebody thinking that they're going to be your soulmate, thinking that they're going to give you sacred when you haven't brought that to yourself. Period, point blank. And don't watch twin flame readings, don't watch soulmate readings when you haven't done the work, because you're just going to attract karma. Do the inner work. And it has to be said that blank. You're not going to attract a soulmate when you're not doing the work and you don't know who you are. That is energy, dear lighted ones. Your teams are trying to guide you into the highest version of you. It's not about anybody else. It's about you. And it has to be said this pointedly. We are going to clean up, and we are going to bring ourselves to a level of sacredness in the fifth dimension, calling judgment on what is not okay. The abuse of bodies, the abuse of our sacred life force, the abuse of one another, the deceit, the lying, the corruption in relationships is not okay. It's not okay. Third and fourth and fifth and sixth parties is not okay. We've normalized it. It's not okay. If you're in that experience and all parties, every single party is agreed, that's fine. But when you start playing around in secret underground lifestyles of all that kind of stuff, it's not okay. That is karma immediately. And you have to earn your way back with Spirit to clear that karma. And you have to make it right with everybody that you've done that to. You're not going to get away with it this timeline or next timeline or everybody else you sleep with and think that that's fun and cool. It's not cool. Anybody that does a third and fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh party, it's not cool. It's not cool at all. It means you've shared your life force with 6 or 7 people. How is that sacred? How is that leveling up your vibrational level? How is that leveling up who you are as a divine sacred being? It's okay that you're not. That's your vibration. That's your choice. But this is the vibration of energetic commodity. It's the exchange of energy. And if that's how you feel about your energy, it's okay to do that. Then you're not holding your energy very high. Therefore, you're going to attract people that don't hold you very high. How is that okay? Again, go within and do the healing. I hold myself high. There ain't nobody going to come before me that doesn't hold themselves high. You're either going to have done the work or don't come near me. Period. That's how much I've been hurt, and I absolutely can stand in my power now. No. Out. Bye. Not even a second glance. Because none of that means anything to me. Title and puffy chest and gym bodies, that means nothing to me. Absolutely nothing. Human ranking means nothing to me. Nothing to me. Spiritual awareness and spiritual awakening and having yourself worked out spiritually, that means everything. So do the work. You can do whatever you want. I'm saying these are the energetics of what a soulmate and a twin flame really are. You're there to assist each other to grow spiritually. And if you're not doing the work, those ties and those cords will be severed. And nobody on an earthly plane, no matter how talented they think they are as a spellcaster, nobody on an earthly plane has rank over that. They just don't. And anybody thinking they do, again, they've got a lot of work to do. We can go over this a billion times, a wasting of my energy and time. I needed to say this because of this whole twin flame soulmate. It needs to be set forward. It needs to be set straight. There's so much that people just don't understand and don't get because they haven't awakened, they haven't done the work, and they're not understanding what true relationships and sacred relationships and entering into what is sacred really mean. Start feeling into what sacred means. How can I feel sacred within myself? If you want to be treated sacredly, you have to know how to feel sacred. Otherwise, you're just going to be in karmic relationships. And you have to be able to have those conversations weekly. What are we going to work on this week? How can we expand within each other? How can we express more fully within each other? How can we explore one another in different ways? You have to have those conversations if you're going to expand together as a couple. And if you're doing it in a group, everyone in the group has to be in agreement. And if there's anything being hidden back from anybody in the group, there will be destruction, there will be downfall, there will be impalement, there will be destruction. And that is karma. And anybody that is awakened would never touch that with a 10-foot pole. So again, we're awakening to who we are as spirit. Spirit is everything. Everything is energy. Everything that you do with intention creates something. So if you're having angry sex, then you're going to have an angry entity that you have to manifest with between you two. And then you two are going to have to sort out that entity. Whether it's an STD, whether it's imbalance in the family, whether it's angry energy in the house or an angry energy entity in your home or in the bed, you're going to have to clear those energies. Energy is everything, and you manifest it through your intentions. And why the bodies get sick, and why the bodies get ill, and why there's STDs, and why there's ovary cancer, and all of those things. Because it's the intention that you do things with. Everything is energy. So we need to step up, we need to level up, and get those topics right off the table. We are just starting awakening. And there's so much love and self-love and self-design and self-sovereignty, reclaiming your power, reclaiming your choice, reclaiming your voice, and let's clear up the corruption that's in the underground. Because it begins with these relationships that are on the upper ground. And they're really not that healthy. If you're truly honest with yourself, if you're going out throughout your day and you're lying, that's not a healthy relationship. If you're going throughout your day and you're not transparent in who you are and not expressing your truth 100%, then it's not healthy. And therefore, underground experiences create underground experiences of trafficking because they're not being honest with who they are. They've got a whole lot of energies and unhealed wounds and all that kind of stuff. And they look to seek those feedings through sexual trafficking, through sexual pornography, through sexual sharing. And all it's doing is just sharing really karmic, dense entity, demonic sexual energy. And then, of course, the innocent children get involved, and the innocent children are then harmed because of adults who are not taking care of their own wounding. These are very blatant experiences, and they're very blatant, but everybody has to be aware because energy is energy. And we're not going to skirt around the issues anymore. This is awakening. This is what energy is. So do you hold yourself high? Is your body healthy? Are you claiming who you are in a vibrational, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual experience and sexual experience? If you have karmic sexual experiences, clear those cards. Do once a week, clearing the sexual cords from everybody from your past, and start taking your body and your health seriously. That's how you heal. That's how you become more youthful, because you're holding your body in such great respect that all you want to see in your body is light. And you want to see your body talking with itself. You want to see the cells talking with the organs talking with the blood. You want to see everything as a harmony of blood, of unity in that blood. You want to have higher vibrating blood. You want to have higher vibrating cells, higher vibrating symbiosis within all that you are as a vibrational being, and having spirit nourish that before you ever get in a relationship with somebody else. If you're not holding your health in priority, that will show in the relationship that you share one another. So again, everybody before you is showing you who they are vibrationally. If they're not taking care of themselves mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, sexually, then they're not going to be there for you. Period. And then again, ask yourself, am I okay with that? And if you're okay with that, fine. You cannot complain for what you receive. Hold yourself high, dear lighted ones. This is very sacred experiences, and this is very sacred energy. You are sacred, so be it. Live in your sacredness, and don't allow anybody to come forward and play sick games with you, unless you want to. If you've made it clear there's no more sick games, Spirit and your ancestors will be sure that they will not come forward. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. It's been said, this is my word. Judgment on all of those that play and look to play those games. I love these rays, aren't they pretty? But it needs to be cleaned up, because it's connected with all the underground stuff that's being burped and being purged. And this is why you'll see a lot of people going through relationship changes. Don't go from relationship to relationship. That's codependence. Fix your stuff. Sort it out. The children don't deserve any more karma, because adults and those that know better are just choosing to hop from one person to the other person because they want to be taken care of. Those are very wounded souls. Clean up your experiences and be responsible for your choices. Sometimes things have to be said this way. They really, really do. It's not rocket science. Who are you? What do you exist within, and what's going on within you? Go to the core of those issues and resolve it. Because then you're going to be manifesting someone that gets you, and the light will be there. It will be equal, and it will be honoring, and it will be sacred, and it will be loving to be together, and it will be soft, and it will be easy and flowing. You don't have to work at it. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to fight all the time, and it's not a constant chaos where you have nothing left at the end of the day because all you do is fight. How is that living? How is that okay? They're stealing from you. Well, how is that okay? Well, that's a real noble person there. Trust me, I've had it. People that say they care and yet they're stealing from you and lying to your face. But that's real noble. And then you got to go through that forgiveness. Why did I allow that to happen? So you got to go do your healing. Yeah, I allowed that. I forgive myself. Boy, oh boy, I'm going to love myself better the next time, because I'm going to have someone that will absolutely not steal from me or lie or be all those things that you actually want and is important to you. Have those things come forward because you're worthy of it. God's asking you, what is important to you? Don't make another person more important than God, ever. Rely only on God, period. And if anybody's saying, oh, I want you to rely on me, I want you to do that, those are codependent ploys to get you into their energy so they can bind you and use your energy and harvest you. So don't. Those are codependent, sick ploys. Stand in your power, say no, stand in your light, earn your own wage, earn your own way, go to school, get what you need to get, and start living in the sovereignty of who you are. You and God only, that's all you need. And these are the new ways, dear lighted ones, because everything in our reality is going to be changing until we get to the core issue. Who are you? Are you sacred? That's where it begins. Thank you, dear lighted ones. We wanted to come forward and make that clear and start clearing up these energies in the whole collective, because most people that have got together in relationships, they got together because they were imbalanced. And most couples, and if you are doing the work, good for you. Most couples don't do the sacred work together. They're doing it separately, and that's okay. But at some point, you're going to have to do the work together because you're supposed to be a sacred couple. So at some point, you've got to work together and start bringing your energies as a co-creative couple. So there's going to be a lot to come in the year about sacred co-creations when you've found that sacred experience and you have those sacred partnerships, and how to maintain a healthy experience together and sort it out between yourselves, right? Because everybody has their own temperament, everybody has their own pacing. You just have to be very open and communicating, making sure that you're respecting one another's life force above and beyond. And if anybody is not respecting your body or your life force, and they're not respecting your spiritual rights, they're not respecting your human rights, sever the cords and move on as soon as possible, so you're not creating karma. You're not going to carry it. And return all burdens, return all karma to those that are not learning the lessons. If they're not going to make it right with you, they don't care about you. Then sever the cords and send them away. Spirit will make sure that you'll get your blessing somehow, some way. And just have that conversation with Spirit. They've been given years to make this right. They haven't made it right. Cut the cords them out. Stand up for yourself. You don't need to take anybody's shit just because they're not sorting themselves out. Move on. Thank you, dear lighted ones. We love you. Our links and our things are below. If you want a session, my links are below. Bye, rainbow kisses.